Making light because the story is about to get heavy. I don't know, I've never had to talk about someone planning to kill me before on a video, so all of this to lead us to Nashville. 2016, recording artist and online comedian that we're going to call Byron Downdevil. That's a great freaking fake name. Byron Downdevil reached out to me online. He was a really big fan, wanted to make a video with me. I was like, yeah, let's do it. Someone who worked at Facebook was like, yeah, you guys have similar audiences. It'd be great for you guys to collab. I'm like, cool. I shot a video at my house. He shot one at his. We edited it together. Audiences loved it. Awesome. Fast forward to 2020. He sees that I'm getting way more into music. Is like, yo, when are we finally going to music collab? Byron Downdevil seems to be killing it at music. He has a bunch of photos up with different plaques that he's won, and he's doing really well. And I'm like, well, heck yeah. He asked me to send him my demos for my upcoming album. I have videos of Byron Downdevil listening to those demos and loving them, and you should. They're amazing. And then early 2021, we planned for me to fly to Nashville, and we would make music together. On account of the photo on his Instagram of him with his fiance, and the girl's like, I thought he had a fiance. And I was just going there to work. Some music for my album, some for yours, some duets. Like, let's see what we write. It was a writing trip. Very normal stuff. Our writing sessions are going great. We're making great songs. I'm having a great time. He's having a great time. Life is good. My second or third night in Nashville, a Canadian country singer, girl that I knew from online and the Canadian world, invited me to come out for a drink at Kid Rock's with her and some of her friends and her husband, who's also like a massive, super talented, amazing country singer. I didn't know who he was at the time, but I looked at his music after, and it's like, he's really good. So I was like, hey, Downdevil, want to go? We were on the third floor of Kid Rock's bar on Broadway. I have one drink, a Tito's and soda. That drink is handed to me from the waitress off of her tray. I have a couple sips. I give it to Byron Downdevil. I go to the washroom. I come back. I have a couple more sips, and then we got to go because we're going back to another studio session. I don't know who did it, but I was roofied that night. And I knew what being roofied felt like because I had been roofied in the past, unfortunately. It's not like it wasn't a common occurrence in my life, but I worked in entertainment and nightlife and live events my whole life. I threw up all over Downdevil sports car, like projectile, vomit. Very embarrassing. He totally took care of me, and I never said he didn't. I told him I don't want to go to the hospital. I've been roofied before. I know exactly what's going to happen. I just got to get to my hotel room. But he wanted to take me to the hospital. We go to this clinic, like 40 minutes-ish outside of town in Ashland City, which was pretty far from where we were because I was staying in the Gulch. He seems to be very confused as to what happened when we went to that emergency room, but even though I was roofied, I'm not. I was roofied. And the nurse said I was roofied. And as I already knew, they can't do anything when you're roofied. They just gave me an IV and then they tested me for drugs. Not roofies, just drugs. Marijuana and cocaine and meth and I think 2 others. They did a drug panel on me. And that drug panel came back clean on account of me not doing drugs. However, I think that Downdevil has a little sordid memory on this one. They didn't test me for roofies because they can't test me for roofies. Let's consult this recorded conversation with the TriStar Medical Clinic on the topic.
Thank you. TriStar Ashland City Medical Center. TriStar Ashland City, can I help you?
Hi there. I was just wondering if you guys have the ability to test for roofies if a girl thought they were roofied.
We can do a regular 5-panel direct screen here in RER. Anything else would be send out for us.
Okay. And do most things usually show up on that 5-panel?
I can tell you we can test for opiates, amphetamines, marijuana, cocaine.
Okay, but not like Rohypnol or that kind of stuff, GHB?
No, ma'am, not that I'm aware of. I'm not sure of anyone that can do that, like in their ER. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. I understand. God bless. You guys do great work. Okay, thank you. There's 2 reasons that I've learned most hospitals in Nashville do not test for roofies. Reason the first, they don't want stats of people getting roofied. If they don't have the tests, then there's no stats. People are getting roofied at an alarming rate in Nashville.
So there's been a ton of reports of people being roofied in Nashville.
I'm pretty sure I got roofied. I don't remember any of it.
I got roofied on my birthday.
If you feel like you've been roofied, leave.
I have been this word twice now at Miranda Lambert's on Broadway.
The fact that this happened to thousands of people in this comment section, you guys, I am shook. I did not realize this was happening as much on Broadway in Nashville as it is.
Alarming rate, and it's a tourist town. If they want tourists to keep coming, they can't have this giant stat of how many people are actually getting roofied there every month. So they just don't test. It's stat manipulation, kind of like with COVID.
With the hospitals, there seems to be an issue where not all of the hospitals want to test for people who come in and feel like they've been drugged or roofied.
And number two, when you don't know what you're testing for, you don't know what to test for. Are we testing for Rohypnol? Are we testing for GHB? There just isn't like a one-size-fits-all roofie test right now. So I was roofied that night, and it sucked. Byron Downdevil took me back to my hotel. He sat on the floor until I fell asleep, and he left like a gentleman. Contrary to some clickbait on the internet, that's all I ever said happened that night. There was no SA, there was no assault, there was no graping going on. Like, it didn't happen. I've never said it happened. So who made up and spread those stories? Boom. Long story short, making music with Byron was going great. I was super excited about some of the music, shot some music video stuff for some of the songs. It was awesome. Unfortunately, it turned into a situation where someone had some feelings, someone maybe didn't have the same kind of feelings and tried to back away politely. The other person's feelings were very hurt. Punishment to me for hurting their feelings, they decided that I would become their new clickbait scam. I woke up one day and I'm suddenly in a new soap opera that I did not sign up for. The story that he made up is that I stole his wallet. He knows I didn't steal his wallet. He left it in my guest bathroom. It was one of those things where it's like, if you won't give me what I want, then I'm going to take what I want. We both had about the same size following, by the way. That's like another thing people get wrong with these stories. His whole team and his mother are in on the scheme because this is what they do constantly. He's made millions of dollars off of clickbait. Like, yeah, just the other day, he lied to his audience about going to court, and then later was like, I was just trolling. Like, this is part of this guy's brand, is just making shit up and calling it trolling. It's how he makes money. Within a few hours, the police were called on me for not giving back his wallet. They were allegedly told that I'm a super fan of his and just wanted to see him. Cruisers and like a TMZ-style camera person were in front of my place. I'm not special in this. It was a total setup in the same way that Britney Spears being arrested for a DUI was a setup. Oh, it's a DUI, but she blew under. Oh, she had drugs, but it was her prescribed Adderall. Oh, I stole a wallet, but you left it at my house. I won't give it back, and you need to do YouTube videos about it for days and rile up your audience. But you already had it. Off of all the views and clicks that he created off this fake story, he launched his album, which featured JellyRoll. So now I'm by myself in Nashville with hundreds of death threats coming at me. I have to have security to walk anywhere. There's a gang member rallying people to come get me on behalf of his friend. I have people in the industry being like, Nicole, the news cycle is short. It's only going to last a couple weeks, and then everything will go down and everybody will forget. They didn't forget. So JellyRoll and Downdevil are making a ton of money off this story. They're getting views, they're getting clicks, they're getting streams. I'm getting no sleep and having to go to the police. There's hundreds of videos and posts made about me and this completely fake story. The death threats were so bad and vile and scary and knew where I was that I had to go to the police. The police were like, you gave the wallet back. Ask him to stop saying this. I'm like, you think I haven't been asking him to stop? It really seemed like JellyRoll's crew got off on the idea that I was terrified. Prior to this, I had all the freedom of a normal human being in the world. And then suddenly I had to have private hired security guards armed with AR-15s walking around with me because, which I had to pay for, because people were going to kill me based on lies that were created to help promote JellyRoll and his friends' music. Just as things online are slightly starting to calm down, and I'm like, okay, I can breathe. I survived that. I got through it. Here comes Bunnie. Boom. Nicole, did you know JellyRoll? No, I didn't know JellyRoll. I met JellyRoll for probably less than 2 minutes, in passing, when I went to do his wife's podcast. She had reached out to me, asked me to be on her podcast. I'd never heard of her, I'd never heard of her husband, didn't know who they were. To be super specific, because these details matter, they had a much smaller following than me. I was told JellyRoll and his wife are very Nashville, and they'll promote our singles when they come out, and we're going to promote theirs. And I'm like, go team, cool, okay, cool, yeah, I'll come on your podcast. Stupid Canadian. I didn't even really look it up before because I was so busy. So I get to her podcast studio. JellyRoll greets me at the door. He's a huge fan of mine, wants to give me a big hug. He's like, oh, welcome to Nashville. Gosh, I've been following you for years. I'm such a big fan. That was it. I'm like, oh, friendly, cool. I go to do his wife's podcast. So she asks me before we start the podcast if we can talk about Downdevil saving me from being roofied a couple nights ago. I was like, yeah, that's a great story. I'm happy to share that. Wait a minute. How did you know that I was roofied, Bunny. How'd you know? I didn't tell you. Apparently you hadn't been talking to Down Devil. Who told you that I had been roofied, Bunny? Good question, right? I do this podcast, and she's totally bottom of the barrel, salacious, hooker porn host. Oh, what's this guy's dick look like? Did you bang this person? Like, her target audience is the lowest common denominator of society. Not long after my episode, she hosted the Whore Olympics on her show, where she had women spread their legs and jam the biggest object they could into their vaginas. And whoever did that, proving that they don't know their father, won. But that's her thing, and that's her audience, and I was polite, and I did the show, and it is what it is. After the show, she's like, you're hilarious. We should be friends. Let's go for lunch. And I'm like, yeah, I'm down. Because I was too friendly. I should have had a boundary. I should have been like, Whore Olympics, porn, escorting, all this shit, that is not my brand. That is not what I want to be around. No. Sometimes I'll hear that old thing like, oh, Jesus hung with all these people. No, he didn't. Jesus hung with hookers and people who stole and whatever in order to lead them the right way. You can't just meet them at where they are and hang out in that sludge. And that's what that felt like, was hanging out in the sludge. Don't play in the sludge to be polite. It's not polite to you. March 14th, 2021, as the story of the fake stolen wallet begins to simmer online, and I'm like, okay, I survived that one. I can hopefully go back to normal life, and all these crazies will stop saying they're going to kill me, and whew, I'm out of the woods. JellyRoll's wife, Bunnie, suddenly posted that I had accused their friend of drugging and raping me on her podcast, which she can no longer post. She made her audience think I said that on her podcast, and I instantly DM'd her and said, I never said that. She didn't care. She didn't care. She was making clickbait. The first round of clickbait went so well that they were trying to use me again with some other made-up bullshit. I'm getting mad. Post where I was talking about SA that did happen to me in the past, she decided that it was about her friend, even after I told her it wasn't. And that bitch ran with that story. She reverse Me Too'd me. She reverse Me Too'd me. She reverse Me Too'd me. Boom. A fan had said to me that JellyRoll and Bunnie remind her of like Paul Bernardo and Carla Homolka, the serial killers that raped women and then killed them together. And I agree. There's a level of sinister and abuse and just filth, and it's just disgusting, the messages that Bunnie was sending me. She knew she made that lie up, and she was mocking me for the lie that she made up. Hey, you said you were raped, and now you're saying you're not? That is so weird. I never said he raped me. That didn't happen. Hey, mama, I don't know. This is getting messy. I've never said that man raped me, and it didn't happen. Please keep in mind, I don't know this chick. I met her for a podcast for like an hour. That's it, of my whole life. Her husband, JellyRoll, less than 5 minutes. Now, Bunnie's making it go viral that I said I was raped and roofied by their friend. They invent stories for attention. I've never in my life encountered a woman as evil as Alyssa DeFord. She's like, oh, this is the same girl that stole the wallet. I went from 100 death threats to thousands of death threats. I was suddenly enemy number one for men who have had false allegations against them. Except I'd never made an allegation. I messaged Bunnie. I'm like, hey, I'd really prefer if nothing about any of these guys are in the podcast we did, because it would be really out of context now. She said she's going to do whatever her husband says because those guys are friends with her husband. And then taunts me with kiss emojis. There is no exaggeration when I say tens of thousands of hate messages, comments, death threats, violence threats, hunting me, finding my address, phone hacked, computer hacked, banking hacked, Facebook fan page hacked. All of these things happened. They were going to slice me into pieces. Oh, saying these things out loud is really disturbing. They were going to slice me into pieces and scatter those pieces so that they could never find my remains. I wasn't getting like one message like this. I was getting tons. These people knew where I banked, where I got my hair done, where I went. Like, they were clearly finding me. Hunting Nicole turned into like an online game apparently driven by Bunnie. I had to go to the police because of all the threats I was getting, and police referred me to victim services because they couldn't keep me safe. Oh my gosh, I don't want to get emotional. I'm so like... It's very traumatizing. I'm talking like a thriller movie. I had to be relocated for my safety and put into hiding so I wasn't murdered. by people who were believing lies that Bunnie created. Boom. March 18th, 2021, I had to get a temporary order of protection against Down Devil to try and make him stop what he was doing. Victim services took my phone and were looking through it, and they had tears in their eyes, and they're like, "You're in danger." I'm like, "I'm in danger." All I had done was gone on a podcast and not dated someone. Bunnie and JellyRoll have a crew of harassers. These are people with violent histories, mugshots, been to jail, gang affiliated, that will do the bidding of JellyRoll and Bunnie. These guys were reposting everything and inventing new lies about me all day, every day. Bunnie's friend called ICE on me last week, by the way. Just want to make sure that's in there. JellyRoll used the story and momentum of me having to get an order of protection as a way to launch a single that had already been out, didn't do well, but now with all this invented scandal they created, they relaunched it. That was in March. A month later, Bunnie was still posting about me online. I had asked Bunnie over and over to just please stop posting anything about my personal life online. I don't know you. She would take those screenshots and send them to these men with multiple restraining orders for doing horrific things to women. And then those men would repost them. She's a horror movie level psychopath. And if you told me you found a bunch of young women locked in her basement tomorrow, I wouldn't be surprised. If a girl said to me, "Please don't post that, that's really scaring me," I'd be like, "All right, of course. I would not post something that's going to scare a woman." No. Bunnie and her abusive man friend starts selling merchandise, mocking me. My thing since high school has been Go Team. It's hashtag Go Team. I can cheer for you because I know I'm awesome too. Everything's better when we work together. It's a positivity and motivation movement. This woman starts selling Go Tee and Ho Team merchandise. Go Tee and Ho Team merchandise went on sale to mock me and fake survivors of abuse that never happened. Items included t-shirts and mugs. They spread that I was never in a car accident, that I had a fake passport, I don't have U.S. paperwork, and I'm in America illegally. That's when I heard from Andrew Bayless, who was a producer I was working with at the time. We did the song Biddy Bum together, and then he was going to produce the rest of my rock album. Turns out JellyRoll had given him a call, and he's not allowed to work with me anymore. My corporate clients started getting messages about these fake rape allegations. So did anybody who worked with me or had me on their show. Oh, don't worry, we're getting to the part where JellyRoll's going to kill me. They made posts celebrating as I lost followers. I lost hundreds of thousands of followers because of this fake rape scandal. And I said not a word. I was told by the police and victim services and the other victim services and lawyers not to say a word. We can't keep you safe if you engage with this because it might just rile everybody up even more. And by the time we get to the judge, we want to be able to show him this is serious. This isn't some YouTuber drama. So I didn't say a word, and they just kept pummeling me with fake thing after fake thing after fake thing. And the more scared they thought I was, the more they would go again. That's about the time that Bunnie told her audience she refuses to air the episode with me on account of the fake charges. Her and her friends posted about me up to 600 times a day. Victim services then helped me get a restraining order against Down Devil and that group of Bunnie's friends who were working as a coordinated smear campaign team. The judge told them not to post about me anymore and just leave me alone. They ignored it instantly. This is around the time I started getting treatment for severe PTSD. PTSD, 0 out of 10. Wouldn't recommend PTSD. It was a lot of shaking, no sleeping, slurring my words, couldn't talk, violent visions, constant flashbacks, hypervigilance. I could see people like coming to murder me constantly. I thought I was going to die constantly because they made me feel like I was going to die constantly. Welcome back to JellyRoll. The beloved fake Christian was going to murder me for a fake social media post. We're getting to that. JellyRoll's violent criminal friends were waiting out front of my house starting at like 5 a.m. on the day I had to go to court. The police had to be called and escort me to court because JellyRoll had his gangbanger friends outside waiting for me. And here comes Candace Owens. Boom. Here's some tea for you guys. Candace Owens was a big fan of mine and interviewed me on her show back on like PragerU.
So my next guest needs no introduction. You probably know her from the internet. She is a stand-up comedian. Nicole Arbour, welcome to the Candace Owens Show.
Thank you for having me.
Do you know what I love about you?
Tell me.
Maybe I was in college, you'd make all these Dear This People videos and it went
Letters
viral.
to the world.
You were kind of like the first internet breakout star. Then you did this horrible thing.
I know, I told the truth.
You told the truth. And
gosh.
the rule number one on the internet, if you want to survive, is to never tell the truth.
And then when she had her first book, she sent it to me and was like, "You're my inspiration." And she was like, "Nicole, how do you keep going viral? You just like say the opposite of what everybody thinks." I'm like, "No, I'm not just being a contrarian and saying like the opposite of what everybody thinks. I'm telling the truth. But she didn't seem too interested in the truth, that Candace Owens. I would have considered her like a work friend at the time. We had a bunch of conversations. I was helping her create her show. Her show was originally supposed to be like The View, but with people who aren't just like super liberal. So I was supposed to be one of those people. And at the last second, she was like, oh, Daily Wire decided that it's just going to be my show, but we're still going to have a panel and I want you to be like a regular guest on the panel. I was like, I'm there. I was on the first episode. My second episode, I was supposed to come on there and talk about cancel culture because I'm like, not about it. She was all like, cancel Chrissy Teigen. And I'm like, let the market decide. You don't have to cancel her. We can see her behavior and decide we don't want to buy anything. Candace's ego can't handle any pushback whatsoever on any topic. Candace had heard rumblings that Daily Wire was going to give me my own show. She didn't want any competition, so she wanted to take me out. I wish I was joking, but I'm not. So I'm on Candace's show, and I'm clearly owning her on this debate.
We've all seen the movie Mean Girls. You cannot out-mean the Mean Girls. I don't like that you have used your audience to engage in cancel culture. Can we call people out? Yes.
You consider this as cancellation because I don't. When I'm saying
the hashtag cancel Chrissy, it is the opposite of everything you say you stand for.
So she flips the show into a gotcha moment about women who falsely accuse men. And she starts rattling off the names of these violent stalkers who have restraining orders against them, who are just crazy people, whatever it is, and repeating all the lies that Bunnie made up to a studio audience. I was like, I can't talk about this.
I think what you just did is disgusting. You just took something personal and private I've talked to you about.
it's not private. It's all over the internet. It's not all over that. I'm sure that in the post she doesn't say that. We didn't give her a platform to say
Right, I will on the platform. Okay. Unfortunately, being a person in the spotlight, I've had some stalkers. And right now, some of those stalkers, you just named them. I have a restraining order against those stalkers. Those stalkers are prohibited from talking about me further because they've done so many crazy things and made up so much stuff, which is why there's a restraining order, which is why they had to pull down all their videos. They were using my name and they made things up. You bringing
Videos
this
are
up
still
has nothing, the videos are not up. You doing this right now has nothing to do with the point, but everything to do with you. And you're being mad at me because I disagreed with you.
Now, I had already talked to Candace about this in private, and she knew how terrified I was of this situation. And these guys were psycho stalkers who said they weren't going to stop until I killed myself or somebody else killed me. So much fun. This story's so much fun for me to tell. After the Daily Wire saw I do in fact have a restraining order against those guys, and they're not stupid people, and I told Jeremy, like, I am very scared. This is terrifying for me. You're not supposed to mention stalkers on a national TV show. What is wrong with you? The Daily Wire agrees not to air that part of the segment, but in exchange, they're going to make it seem like I stormed off the show. Come on, Nicole, we need a hook. So to keep myself safe, I had to let them pretend in the edit that I had stormed off the show.
I'm talking about Nicole Arbour. There's a huge walk-off tonight. If you guys are Daily Wire members, you're going to see it. dailywire.com/subscribe. By the way, the discount, if you're subscribing to Daily Wire, is Chrissy. I think I'm so funny. To get like 20% off or whatever if you're going to subscribe. Nicole Arbour did this huge walk-off after she created the entire drama. Girls need to support girls, and oh my God, go team, and oh my God, team. Like, we all need to just like be out there supporting each other. She does a massive walk-off tonight. We are going to have to just like piece it in, like basically a disclaimer to tell you guys she said some stuff that she wanted pulled out. And again, my personal perspective is because what she was saying were pathological lies, and it would have created trouble for her.
Okay,
just at your exit, you said Pete, your sayonara, like, you know, we gotta go.
What do you say? Can you guys pause for a second?
Yeah.
Sweet, thank you. You know, I have back surgery like a week ago. It takes me a second. Sweet, thank you so much for having me on.
In real time, while I was on that show, Candace's manager, allegedly this is who did it, Candace's manager was filming and live streaming for my stalkers and giving them the footage of me in real time. Not only did she give this men who said they're going to kill me my exact location in real time and showed them what I was wearing so they can identify me easily, she gave them this footage of Candace shouting out these known violent to women men, stalkers. Those guys had it online in 30 seconds. Bunnie was resharing it. They had a whole new storyline. Look, Candace got her. I had given my address to Daily Wire because they send a car service to bring you to the show. Someone from Candace's camp gave my address from that piece of paper directly to the stalker crew, who had it online in about 5 minutes. So I had to move again. Now the show airs, and people think I stormed out of Candace's show because I couldn't debate her, which that really pissed me off. That was the time I almost broke and was like, okay, I don't care about the judge, I don't care, I gotta tell the truth here, this is insane. I tell the truth for a living, that's how I'm funny, that's what I do. And I couldn't talk. I couldn't say a thing. I had the lawyer messaging me being like, Nicole, don't do it. Nicole, don't do it. I'm like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. When Daily Wire didn't let Candace do that to me on air, she went and did live streams. Good old Candy-O did 2 live streams about him too. And me filing fake rape charges against men. And now added to the story was that the judge threw out the charges.
A lot of you guys have been like kind of following obviously the whole back forth last week with the whole saga with Nicole Arbour. Very vocal and very passionately against women that false accuse men. First and foremost because it smears them. And it's not a smear that just lasts a couple of days. It lasts their entire lifetimes. And you know, there's not a guy that can come up and just say, oh well, you know, the charges were dropped, and people don't go, oh, but why were the charges ever there in the first place? The idea is to make men carry that for the rest of their lives, and women know that when they lie. And by the way, when a woman false accuses a guy, it doesn't just do a disservice to that man, it does a disservice to women everywhere.
Except I had never said I was raped, and there never were any charges, and a judge definitely didn't throw them out because none of that ever happened. But Candace now repeated these lies to 10 million people. Outside of Candace being scared that I was going to get my own show on the Daily Wire and then she would be redundant, I was told that Bunnie had paid one of those men who stalked and harassed me and posted about me constantly $10,000. I was told that Bunnie paid Candace Owens $50,000 to take me out and destroy my career. She was allegedly told to destroy my reputation beyond repair. And when the Daily Wire wouldn't let her air that, she was super mad because she didn't get her extra payday. So she did it on live streams. And I thought that was really far-fetched until recently. A reporter sent me a video clip of one of Candace's live streams. And who do I see in there? It's Bunnie, cheering her on. This wasn't a scheduled live stream. This was an out-of-the-blue live stream. That meant that Bunnie knew exactly when she was going to do it to tune in. So now Candace Owens is saying I filed fake rape charges and a judge threw them out.
Woke up the police, you don't know why it's happening. You know exactly what's happening. There's been 4 days of someone trying to get their wallet back. At that point, of course, the police officers tell you it's legally considered stolen. And when a woman starts using language like, my life is going to be in danger, I'm scared for my life, like it's about text messages, about a show, you know, that's dangerous rhetoric. And that's why I really wanted to issue that warning to conservatives. Tommy Vexed, another person, said that she aggressed him. It's too many people that don't know each other that are telling you the same thing. Big believer that if a woman false accuses you, you should file a report against them. Don't just let it be like, oh well, I survived that one. Like, she has now dropped the charges because she should drop the charges. I will always use my platform for as long as I have it to stand up for men.
All the jobs I still had were suddenly gone. Men that I had previously worked with wouldn't even be alone in a room with me. And that's exactly what Bunnie wanted to do. She gets off on torturing women. So my reputation was dead. But I wasn't dead yet. So here comes JellyRoll. I'm Nicole Arbour, and this is the very true story about how 3-time Grammy-winning Christian country darling of Nashville, JellyRoll, threatened, stalked me, and planned to kill me. All over some YouTube clickbait rumors that turned out to not be true. Next part coming soon. Boom. I'm Nicole Arbour, and this is the very true story about how 3-time Grammy-winning Christian country darling of Nashville, JellyRoll, threatened, stalked me, and planned to kill me. All over some YouTube clickbait rumors that turned out to not be true. The thing that I learned is if you won't play their game, they'll take you out of it. It's tea time. I can't even believe this is